Today we're going to be doing a review of the Settlers of Catan, or Catan, which is the same game as Catan. There's just been some rebranding, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that really quickly. You can see here is Catan, the same as Settlers of Catan. Catan, previously known as the Settlers of Catan, or simply Settlers, is a multiplayer board game designed by Klaus Tuber. You can also verify here. This is the game I'm talking about, Catan, and the Settlers of Catan are the same game. No more Settlers. Catan rebranded for New Edition, and let's get to the basics of what matters. The game's rules are essentially unchanged for the new edition, although Catan's rebranding comes with various cosmetic changes. Okay, so there you have it. Same game. Just wanted to verify that for you. So here we have our instructions. Got our whole board set up, and I'm just going to show you in just a minute what all of this is here. But the idea of the game is that you have resources, which are your ore, your grains, your sheep, your wood, your bricks. Some people call them different things, but those are all represented on here. And you're randomly setting up these numbers, what I'll show you up closer in a minute, on the board, and the red ones can't be together. The bottom line is you're trying to get to 10 first, and you've got your settlements and cities. I think this is a settlement, this is a city, and you have your cards that show you what you need in order to get those, and you get points based upon what types of cities and settlements you get. And you also get points for roads, for example. That being said, this is a game of strategy, and in my opinion, it does make people smarter to play this game. One of the downfalls of this game is that it can get you mad at other players because they might not play nice. And so you'll have to decide if you're going to be a nice player or if you're just going to play to win. I figured one of the best ways to give you an idea about how fun this game is to ask each individual from my family how they like this game. So we're going to have them sitting down here to tell you. Lexi, can you tell us, what is the object of Catan?
Probably for me it would just be getting as many cities as you can, because the more cities you get, one city is 2 points, and you have to get 10 points to win the game. And what are those other things that are not cities? These are houses and roads. So you would put probably right here would be a pretty good spot. Okay. And then you can put the road leading any way you want. What would you try to do if you wanted to win the game? I would probably try to get all these, like the rocks, wood, and sheep, and brick. So you need those. That makes sense. Do you like this game? Yeah. If you were to compare this game to other games you played, how does this game rate? This one's probably better than a lot of them. Thank you very much, Lexi. So Chilla, is this a fun game?
Super fun. I love it.
What do you call it?
Catan.
Some people call it Catan, I think. So I just wanted to know what you would say it was. So have you played Monopoly before?
Yes.
Is this game more or less fun?
Way more fun.
I thought so too. Can you tell us really quickly, what's the object of this game?
To get to 10 points.
Okay, and how would you go about doing that? What would your strategy be?
I usually buy settlements and cities, and I usually go for the longest road or the night card. These are the development cards, and you can get a victory point if you pull it, or you can have a night card that is also a point, or a year of plenty when you take any 2 resources from the bank, victory point.
Does this game make you smarter, in your opinion?
Yes.
Do you think it's helped our kids?
Yes. It's strategy. It helped us to strategize.
So how would you rate this game as far as games like sit-down games, not talking like sports?
10 out of 10.
What is the object of this game? What is the strategy to win?
It's not really a strategy for me. I just try to get 10 points. And probably the easiest way to do that is get cities and build cities. And when you first place your settlement, you should try to place it by one of these, because these are the most rolled on the dice. And that will get you ahead.
Okay, and when you say the most rolled on the dice, do you mean by the fact that it's a red one?
Yes.
And that means that it's more likely for the number to be that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Is this game fun for you?
Yeah, it's really fun.
How would you rate it, as far as games go that are sit-down kind of games? What number would it be as far as your favorite games?
Definitely number 1.
Do you think that the way that people have to think about this game, does it help you to think about things?
No, I don't think so.
So it's just fun to play?
Yes.
Okay, Kyle, so can you tell me, what is the object of this game?
The object of this game, Catan, is to reach 10 points. and to be the first player to do so. So I think there's up to 4 players with this, and your goal is to try to gain resources to either build settlements and cities to acquire points, or buy resource cards, or there's also achievements like the largest army and longest road, which will also give you points. So the goal of this game is to acquire 10 points before any of your other teammates.
And is it a fun game?
I would say it's pretty enjoyable, yeah.
Have you played Monopoly before?
I have played Monopoly.
Is it better or worse than Monopoly?
I would say this is a lot more fun than Monopoly.
How about compared to chess?
I enjoyed chess, but I do think this is a more fun game that still uses your brain.
Okay, and so do you think it kind of helps you to think in a strategic way?
I do. I think that this actually does. You have to use your brain, and you do have to use logic, and I think it does help you to think.
What would you do? Like, if you were trying to win this game, do you have a particular way that you try to win?
I generally try to just get as many resources as possible by building cities and settlements, and later on maybe get the longest road or largest army. But yeah, that's just my strategy. You could play a lot of different ways.
Okay, any final words on this game?
No, I think it's a fun game, and I would definitely recommend it for families or anybody. I think it's a lot of fun.
So now we're taking a close-up look at the game, and you can see that we've got numbers, and these are randomly placed across the board. And also, you don't want to look when you're placing the different types of resources. For example, like this is a forest or lumber, this is ore, and there's other ones as well that you can see that we talked about. You place them randomly, so kind of maybe have them upside down and then place them where you would want to place them. This is called the robber, I believe, or the baron, and you can move this, and that allows you to steal from somebody else or to block them, for example, from being able to do something when their die represent a certain number. Basically, you'll see that the different numbers have different amount of dots on them, and the different amount of dots represent the likelihood that that's what you're going to roll when you roll these 2 die. So basically what it comes down to, the odds of getting some numbers obviously are better than getting other numbers. So those are the numbers that you want to have as your places where you put your first, for example, development on. So for example, if I put a development on a place like this here, you can see I've got a red number, which represents one of the most likely numbers to be rolled, and then I've got a 5, which also has 4 dots, so it's only 1 less than the 5 dots on the 8. So those 2 are very likely to be rolled, and you can see they represent 3 different resources based upon where my development is placed. And then you build out with roads, and you can eventually put the cities, which look like this, that will replace your developments. And you can see those on here and what you need to get them. And when I say a development, I guess I mean a settlement. And then you have these other cards. One of them is the longest road, which gives you extra points. You've got your resource cards, and those are what you get, and you need them in these orders. You can see here we've got Knights and Year of Plenty. These are kind of opportunity cards. Can't remember if that's what they're called or not. So in conclusion, I'd say this game is a lot of fun. It takes about 3 to 4 players to play, but we have played with lots of people where we just basically made teams. You could have a team with 2 people each on it, for example. That's my review of Catan, or the Settlers of Catan. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share this video, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.